part of the series Unlock Connections, I want to talk about something that's really hard to explain, especially if you've never lived inside an ADHD brain. It asks that constant battle between people-pleasing and rejection sensitive dysphoria, RSD, and how it completely messes with how we experience friendship. It's something I've wrestled with for years. Something I still wrestle with. Hi, I am Jag, just taking a quick break to explain some things. As late-diagnosed autistic and ADHD, still figuring things out one day at a time, female / neat and professional hairstyle, 30-40 average build, professional casual attire. I use AI to help me create videos so I can share my message more clearly. It helps me concentrate better, stay organized, but also tap into my creativity. This channel is a safe space for anyone who found out later in life and thought, now what? Here, I will share tips, tools, and stories I wish someone had told me when I first started this journey. If you are feeling overwhelmed, curious, or just want to feel a little less alone, you are in the right place. Because having ASD and ADHD means your brain is wired to need connection, but also wired to panic at the possibility of rejection. And when those things collide, it gets complicated. Fast. Living with RSD. Let's start with rejection sensitive dysphoria, RSD. It's not just I don't like being rejected, it's a neutral tone in a text message ruins my entire day. It's they didn't respond right away, so now I'm spiraling, convinced I ruined everything. RSD doesn't feel like disappointment. It feels like shame, immediate, total, overwhelming shame. Like your entire worth as a person is in question because someone frowned, paused too long, or canceled plans. And logically, I know it's probably nothing. But emotionally, I feel like I've been abandoned, like I messed up, like I'm too much or not enough or somehow both at the same time. That's what RSD does. It turns tiny moments into emotional catastrophes. The people-pleasing reflex. Now layer on top of that, people-pleasing. Which, if you grew up in a volatile, abusive household, or with narcissistic parent, or got bullied a lot as a child, you might not even be a conscious choice you learned to do, to fit and to be accepted. It's a survival reflex. Especially if you grew up masking, trying to blend in, trying to avoid being too weird or too much for everyone around you. So you learn to adapt. To notice every shift in tone. To change how you talk, what you share, how you show up. You mirror people. You perform stability. You become easy, agreeable, helpful, because deep down, your nervous system is wired to believe that being liked equals being safe. You over-apologize. You say yes when you want to say no. You anticipate what others want before they even say it. And people think you're just kind or selfless or loyal, when in reality, you're running on fear and hypervigilance. The friendship trap. So what happens when you mix RSD and people-pleasing inside a friendship? You lose yourself. Because suddenly, your brain is constantly scanning. Did I say too much? Was that weird? Did I annoy them? Should I apologize? Maybe I should send a funny meme to prove I'm not mad. Wait, are they mad? Even the calmest friendships can start to feel like emotional landmines. Not because your friend is unsafe, but because your brain is stuck on high alert. And then there's the guilt. Because you know you're overthinking. You know your friend didn't do anything wrong. But the panic still hits. The shame still floods in. And now you're blaming yourself for even having these feelings. Friendship starts to feel fragile, even when it's not. You feel like you're always on the edge of ruining something. So you try harder. You become even more agreeable. You start to hide your needs. Because you'd rather disappear a little than risk being too much and pushed away. Masking in friendship. This is where the autistic side of my brain steps in. Masking is something I've done for so long, I often don't realize I'm doing it. But in friendships, it shows up a lot. I script conversations. I analyze past texts. I replay interactions to decode social rules I still don't fully understand. I might come off as warm and engaged, even funny or confident. But under the surface, I'm calculating, managing, adapting. And the worst part? People think they know the real me because I've worked so hard to seem open and easy to be around. But it's not sustainable. Eventually, the mask cracks. I burn out. I withdraw. Not because I don't care, but because I care too much, and the emotional cost of staying palatable is just too high. Part 5: The conflict it creates. This creates a weird contradiction. On one hand, I want deep, authentic, unfiltered connection. I want friendships where I can stim, info dump, ramble, or just exist in silence. But on the other hand, I'm terrified that if I actually show up as my full self, people will leave. That I'll be too intense, too sensitive, too inconsistent, too extra. So I swing between extremes. I'm on and available and attentive. Or I vanish, because I've convinced myself I've already ruined the friendship anyway. It's exhausting. Not because my friends are doing anything wrong, but because my brain is holding so much conflict, so much fear, so much emotional weight in every interaction. Part 6: What I wish people knew. Here's what I wish more people understood: when I people please, it's not manipulation. It's fear. When I spiral after a text, it's not drama. It's dysregulation. When I disappear for a while, it's not because I don't care. It's because I care so much it hurts, and I need space to breathe. I wish people knew how much effort it takes to maintain a friendship when your brain is constantly misreading signals, fighting shame, and begging you to prove your worth. It's not about insecurity. It's about neurology. Part 7: How I'm learning to heal. The truth is, healing this pattern isn't about getting rid of RSD or stopping people-pleasing completely. It's about awareness. It's about learning to pause before I perform. To notice when I'm saying yes out of fear instead of desire. To gently challenge the stories RSD writes in my head, like they secretly hate me or I am too much. It's about finding friendships where I can unmask slowly. Where I can ask for clarification without shame. Where I can exist in my contradictions. I'm anxious and loving. I'm sensitive and strong. I need reassurance and autonomy. It's about trusting that real connection doesn't require performance. That I don't have to constantly prove my value. That the people who really see me, who get what it means to be AuDHD, want to run when I show up messy, raw, or halfway shut down. If any of this resonates with you, I just want you to know, you're not too much. You're not broken. You're not alone. Navigating friendships with an autistic and ADHD brain is hard. But it's not impossible. And the more we name these patterns, the more we can find each other and build friendships that hold space for our full, complex, beautiful selves. Thanks for listening. If this spoke to you, feel free to like, comment, or share with someone who might need to hear it too. Check out the other videos in this series. Let's figure this out together, and don't forget to subscribe to your own courage. Let me know in the comments if you have any struggles with RSD and people pleasing in the comments. Please don't feed the trolls. All they want is attention. Not the right kind. So go on ignoring them. See you next time, Yellow Heart.